Well, let's get to our next corporate then. We have Monte Carlo. They reported their best ever quarterly sales numbers for the month of March with a 36% growth compared to a year ago. The company's annual sales as well for the fiscal grew by close to 22% in comparison to the previous year and a 51% growth in comparison to FY20, which was pre-COVID period. Mr. Sandeep Jain, the Executive Director at Monte Carlo, joins us on the show. Hi, Sandeep. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, last year you told us you'll do something between 20 to 25% growth on the top line, and you managed that. For the coming year, that's for FY24, given that you've held a couple of trade shows as well, what kind of a growth number are you estimating for FY24? And now input cost. You have cotton, yarn costs that have cooled off a little bit. That'll be good for your business, right? So I think earlier you were talking about 20 to 22% margins. What's it likely to be?
Thank you, Nigel. So whenever we give our guidance, we have been very thoughtful and we want that we should be near to the accuracy. So normally we give our guidance once we have our trade shows are over, and that is expected to be over by 15th of May. So normally we give our annual guidance in the yearly results, which is around end of May. So at that time, we normally know about our forward-going business, about the bookings, about the home textile business. So that is the right time for us for estimating our current sales and the future sales also.
All right, Sandeep, but at least, we'll get the official guidance at that point of time. But now, since the trade shows have been done and you have this, the home vertical business, that home textiles business that you all have been focusing on, could you tell us, as of now, the home textiles business, I think you were guiding for around 160 crores. What kind of a growth you're looking at, given that you've put in some capex out there? And can you do maybe high teens to 20% odd growth for the business on the whole? As of now, things can change.
See, home textile, we have a good news that the land has been procured in J&K, which is Kathua. So I think we'll start the groundwork now. So we hope that in the next year, Q1, we should have our plant operational. But in this year, we are again looking at home furnishing store, a reasonable growth. But again, as we have a trade show in 15th of May for home textiles, so at that time we can give the future guidance for home textile also. But I'm very confident that home textile is one segment which is basically growing faster than the rest of the business. And I hope that it should continue its growth.
Okay, so when you say continue its growth on an average, what are you looking at in the home textile business over the next couple of years?
I can't give you any forward statement as of now,
sure.
As we have a trade show which is on 7th of May and 15th of May, so I'll let you know at that point.
All right. You've also hiked prices quite a bit. I understand that there was a 40 to 50% price hike that you took last year. Now with input costs cooling down, would you be looking to roll back prices in the next couple of months?
The last year average price hike was around 10%. So this year the raw material price have gone down. So that will definitely benefit the brand because normally the MRP doesn't go down. So margins should improve going forward.
By how much? I mean, do you want to give us at least a margin band that you could be looking forward to, given that input costs have cooled off and we are going to be spending more whenever we visit your stores?
See, we are hopeful to sustain our margins and improve our margins. Exact, I cannot let you know at that point of time because macros are really challenging because of interest costs. It's pinching the pockets of the consumers. So that is one area which is some concern as far as going forward is concerned.
Earlier, Sandeep, we're looking for a couple of numbers. So earlier you were guiding, I think, for early 20s, right? 21, 22% odd. So you're saying the margins will be better than that at least.
I think that as the raw material has cooled down, I think that it should be near to that, some upward.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so an upside risk to your margins is what we're looking at. Post your Q4 numbers, we'll quiz you a little bit more and try to get more concrete numbers. But on the home textiles business, I think it contributes mid-teens. Now you're saying that vertical will grow at a faster clip in comparison to your core business or your other part of your business. As a percentage of your sales, where do you see this number stabilizing? Clearly, you're indicating that home textiles is seeing good traction.
I think it was, 9 to 10% a few years back, and now it contributes almost, 14 to 15% of the revenues. And their contribution should also go up going forward in this year also, because we are seeing good demand from the home textile segment. And also, as our blanket plant would be operational by next financial year Q1, so that would add another growth, should be around 60 to 70 CR in our top line in home blankets, home textile segment.
So the home textile business as a contribution will go up further, as you mentioned. But given that the demand environment is very challenging, do you think it will be hard to maintain that 30% growth rate in the home textile business? It's something you had guided for earlier. In FY24, you said that home textile revenue growth would be 30%. Now, do you think that could be a bit challenging given how the global demand situation is panning out?
See, one thing is actually what you're saying is right. Definitely, there have been challenges in the macro because of interest rates gone up and because of recession, and also consumers are spending less as compared to the past. But we are at a very small base. So higher growth is not a challenge for home textiles, as a base level is very small.
Okay. So post this expansion from around this 160 crores, home textiles, taking into account the J&K expansion, at peak, how much, what kind of revenues can it do?
I think if the J&K expansion is complete, we can easily go for 250 to 300 CR.
250 to 300 CR. All right. And you're hopeful that maybe at least by FY25 you can hit that mark in home textiles?
I hope so.
Okay. All right. I wanted to talk a little bit about the online channel as well. I think 6% of your sales, 6-7% comes from that part, the online channel. Do you see it grow further? Are you seeing a pickup in traction there or not too much?
I think, to be very honest, online sale has been growing in the line with the offline sales. It used to be grow at a very faster rate at pre-COVID times and COVID times. But now the growth rate is same. Last year, as I compared to this financial year, we grew the same rate in offline and online sales because the customers are going out and spending money. So that trend, which was like only online sales, will boost the sales. Actually, I'm not seeing visible this year.
All right, Sandeep, final question before we let you go. The stock price has seen a sharp correction, actually. There was some euphoria that played out, I think, towards the end of last year. It was at 900 rupees. It's come down to 700 rupees. Any communication from some of your investors? I mean, is there some selling pressure or what's going on out there?
This is the only thing which I don't understand. Stock prices, plays on its own. So we are here for our performance, and then the rest of the market has to see the stock price.
I just thought we'll quiz you on that because it's a 25% correction, and going by what you're saying, your things are looking up for you. So, but thanks so much for joining in, Sandeep, and filling us in with your take on your business. By the way,